Strange times. Very strange times, guys. Now, I could have used any number of words to describe the current feel, the current energy, the current frequencies in this place. But I'm sticking with strange because I believe strange is a word that is encapsulating it all. Certainly the feeling. That feeling of more uncertainty. There is now, on an almost daily basis, an atrocity. An execution live footage. Not that long ago, footage of an execution on public transport. In real life, in regards to paying attention, there's a general feel of a decline and lowering of standards and morals that maybe not everybody is on board with. Again, you know, that's all our unique experiences, and this is where tolerance and all of forgiveness and tolerance and kindness and all of these words sort of spring to mind as I'm talking about this. That should be a factor of the human experience and debate and ability to talk about things, whether they are right, whether they're wrong, putting ego aside, putting quite often emotion aside, to be able to talk about things, to be able to move forward. And it is that right there that may indeed be the ultimate challenge, because it appears in regards to cycles, there has always been atrocities, there's always been violence, there's always been, I mean, if you're to believe a lot of history, which I don't, but generally when it comes to the human experience in regards to the balance, don't trip over, Kia, I'm having to navigate quite a bit of stickery here. There's always been challenge at the very minimum, but there's always been something there. So to say that, oh, you know, now it's a case of why are things so bad now? Things have always been bad, but the difference now in regards to what you might be feeling, in regards to the shift in energies and the shift in perceptions and the shifting in frequency, what you might be experiencing now, the changes, significant changes, one of them is of course technology, social media. It's become so cliche as a talking point that it almost becomes a little dismissed, but we can't hide the fact that things like social media having the power to literally influence and shape perception on the grandest scale you can imagine. It's hard to say that it's not having a form of influence. Of course it is. And this is where what I originally spoke about in regards to awareness and how aware you might be, social media is playing a big part in that. And here's what I want to draw back to and want to speak about in between everything that's going on. When we start to think about purpose, when we start to think about you know, what we're here for and stuff like that, and then you see atrocities and hear about them and it just hits you with this deep sadness. The thing I don't want you to forget throughout all of this, there's a couple of things, but one is, don't forget to be authentic, your authentic self. See, I've realised in regards to everything that's going on around you, I've realised a big part of my intention, even with videos, and why I want to continue to do videos and do them like this, my overriding intention, I've realised, is to people who watch these videos, I just want you to know that there's still normal, decent people around. You know what I mean by normal. I just want you to know that there are still good people. And that number, I believe, is getting lower. In fact, I know that it is. Anecdotally, the general feel, the general moral standards, there's no coincidence. You know, it feels very non-organic in regards to the overall process. But I want you guys, the guys that I'm addressing, the guys that you guys that have maybe been watching my videos for a long time now, maybe even years, you're not alone. There's still good people, there's still decent people out there, and I know that in your comments that is very much a thing, and that's my intent, you know, and that's just me being as authentic as I can be, because I also believe that there is so much value in things like truth, because I really do believe that when you break it all down, authenticity and truth are some of the only things that will ever matter. And that comes with fear, it comes with challenge, and that is what we're witnessing now, and why numbers are dwindling, because it's easier to submit to the fear than it is to lead with love. And I want to quickly define what I mean by that, because the opposite of fear is love, but they've corrupted the meaning and word of love itself so much that we often struggle to understand what that even means, because you might as well replace love with the word lust, because that again is how that influence that I'm talking about, whether it's through social media or everyday conversation, that's what's happened. They've transferred the meaning of things like love to be lust. Oh, it's all about lust, sexualizing everything. No, what love is connection. That's what love is. Love is connection. And that doesn't even necessarily mean with somebody else or other people. Love could be connection with yourself, and I mean your true self. I mean, and this is how I want to wrap this up, because I think through everything that we're going to go through, and we're going to be presented with even more challenges, that is without a doubt, guys, okay? There's going to be challenges. We're going to hear about atrocities. We're going to hear things happening. But always remember to be true to yourself. Be authentic. Do not allow yourself to be corrupted. Do not allow fear to enter your heart, mind, spirit. Be authentic. Lead with love, which is ultimately connection, whether that's with other people or yourself, your true self. And that's all you can do. That's all you can ever be asked of. Whatever your situation is, whatever you're going through, whatever information bombards you, be authentic, be your true self, lead with love, connection, and don't forget, ultimately, the power of truth, and how even if we might not see that shorter term, maybe this isn't the end of the game. Maybe this isn't all just it. Maybe this is just part of the game. And when you start to be more authentic, you start to be able to move on, whether it's here or somewhere else. Because that's what fear wants you to do. Fear wants you to see the short term. It wants you to submit. It gives you glittering diamonds and gold and tells you, hey, if you do this and you do that, your life will be easier. BS. Absolute BS. No, that short-term comfort is a lie. It's evil. It causes greater pain. It causes greater atrocities, because it allows the cycles to repeat. It's a little bit like when you get toothache and you ignore it because you might be afraid of that one needle. And yet, when you just go get something done, you save yourself a lot of time and pain. And I believe, ultimately, so much of that is you remembering to be authentic and true to yourself. You have a great day. Ta-ta.